we'll open the session for about 2-3 questions and then we close it. So I open the floor for asking questions to Mr. Kedar and Mr. Mukesh.
Okay. So, because I gave you some indication of numbers, yeah, it's on e-commerce, the total cost to serve comes to about 16% if the average selling price, ASP, is about $250. Yeah? And on FMCG, those are the numbers which are right at the moment. It can become better, it can be worse, but that's the number till you use the courier as the logistic option. Okay, so tea time. Yes, ma'am.
In the era of this demonetization now, especially in your FMCG business, all your distributors and retail points, they may have to start using this POS concept, and where there's going to be a lot of fintech cost.
Yes.
So is it going to align your costing and pricing structures? Because we all anticipate that moving forward, if it's going to be a fintech-driven economy.
Yes.
So I guess it is going to eat into your profit margins a little.
You answer that? You have an answer? Okay, all right. So, ma'am, you're right. What we are doing is, the good thing is, in India, what does not happen with a lot of cajoling and positivity happens with danda, which is what we are seeing now. So I've seen retailers, in fact, using a normal Android mobile phone on which a POS can be configured. Yeah? I already have a solution from Hindustan Lever for retailers free of cost. So I've built that solution. We'll give it to retailers saying, you don't need to buy any POS solution. You can start using it, number one. Number two, if it becomes less cash or cashless, the movement of goods will become much better. One of the problems that Mukesh and my salesman face is when the salesman goes to a retail outlet, every retailer has a calculation in his mind saying, Marico's salesman has come, I have to buy products worth only 800 because this guy is going to collect money of last order. Yeah, so he has physically in his pocket 1200 rupees, he'll give 1200 and give order for 800. Now imagine if I am able to get financial inclusion where he has a money or credit available on tap, my salesman will be able to satisfy all requirement in the store. Yeah? And that whole virtuous cycle of cashless economy will come into play. And so I don't believe that we will have cost enhancement or cost increase. I think it will be profit accretive if a large number of those retailers start getting into electronic POS and e-cash. Yeah, thank you. Yes, we did, because every trucker, you know trucks better than we would know, but every trucker carries lots of cash to be able to pay on the way, fuel and so on and so forth. And for the first 2 weeks, those truck drivers were incapable of using that cash. So petrol pumps helped, not having tolls helped, but it's coming back because the supply of currency is not as much. So we've been able to protect ourselves because we have long-term contracts with our truck operators, but we are seeing the impact at the secondary distribution level, which is between the dealer and the distributor.
This is Mohan. Again, the question goes to Mr. Kedar. In one of your slides, you said reasonable cost to serve. Is it possible to quantify, or is there any guidelines you can frame?
That was the only word which I said for a sales guy like me. Reasonable cost to serve is what your CFO allows you to.
Thank you very much. You have a last question. We'll take the last question.
Yes, sir.
So today at the FMCG business, I think one big challenge to say Hindustan Unilever is the Patanjali product, and they claim their logistic management system is much efficient, and they are in fact growing at a CAGR of more than 65%. So do you feel that a real challenge, and do you have anything to learn from them, or do you believe that their logistic model or distribution channel is much more efficient, or they are learning much better than you?
I assume that question is for Mukesh.
Yeah, Mr. Mukesh can.
Okay, Kedar can add on. I'll just see. Patanjali is a competitor which has come up, and what they have done is quite well. And there are certain philosophies on which they have obviously succeeded, which is the natural, the Ayurvedic, and the herbal platform. They have also tried. They don't have any category restrictions or stuff like that. They have gone all across whatever they can step into. And they're trying to get into everywhere. So obviously they'll get certain scale advantages. What they still have to set up, and which is what comes to what Kedar was saying, is a route to market. One of the main channels through which they are selling is the Chikitsalaya channel, and they have now got into tie-ups with certain modern trade key accounts like the Future Group and stuff like that. So they still have to set up a detailed, a bigger traditional trade channel. So in fact, if you compare the costs, if your question is on the logistics and the route to market cost, as you would have seen in his slide, it is the traditional trade channel which is actually at the least cost as compared to the other costs. But what they are also facing is they're selling at a cost which is far lower than the traditional MRPs. So there will be a challenge which may come up at some point in time, but I'm sure because of the scale they may be able to handle. But yeah, they are a good competitor to have, and especially lots of learning from them as to how to scale up faster, and especially in get newer products into the market at a faster pace.
I only want to say one thing, sir, which is, this is a phenomenon in the cow belt or the Gangetic plains to begin with. It's not come below Aravali at the moment. But the bigger thing is, when you buy Patanjali, you don't buy products. You buy the philosophy of Babaji. Because once you have bought a product, it doesn't matter. Classical brand management, I would never be able to sell you a body soap which is called Vim, or would never be able to sell you a noodle which is called Domex. But only they can do this. From atta to laundry is the same brand. So you're not buying a brand promise, you're buying the promise of the man. And it is the promise of being Indian, it is the promise of being natural, it is the promise of being Ayurveda. And those are promises you're buying. So it works for them. It's a global phenomenon where locals and I must say niche is now getting bigger, and it's happening across the world. So we are seeing them come into right kind of categories. We will also have a play on naturals. We are waiting for a market to get bigger. We've done that in the past. We were not the first one to launch, for example, a face wash, but then we were the market leader in face washes. So we'll use our scale when the market matures. And so they are doing it for getting the market up. Fad will become a trend, and trend will become a market large enough. And then all of us will play. I agree with you, sir. But Babaji ke saath, Ranveer Singh ka video aaj aaya, you must see that. That's right. That's what they're quoting. Yeah. But he can do what my CEO can't. So.
Okay, thank you very much. And sorry.
No question. One quick observation. Kedar started by saying he sat for 4 hours, but he dubbed the whole thing as a finance exercise or a finance term. That shows that we have failed in marketing this way.
But he used financial terms all through. So thank you very much. It was an interesting subject, outstanding speakers, and a great audience. Thank you very much.